Hi, my name is Kayla, and this is my presentation on Immortal Longings, Vampires and the Quest to Outlive Death. Vampires captivate our imagination, embodying the eternal struggle with mortality. Throughout history, vampires have been depicted as both monstrous and alluring, representing the attraction toward immortality and the terror of the unknown. My fascination with this topic derives from observing how different cultures chase eternal youth and reject the certainty of death, as well as the psychological reasons as seen in ancient legends and advanced scientific research. In this presentation, I will highlight the way the vampire's legend reflects humanity's complex relationship with death and our yearning to transcend it through the idea of immortality. To do so, I will explore El Toro, Guillermo, and Hogan Chuck's critical essay, Why Vampires Never Die, along with the philosophical and existential perspectives on our fears. From this, I will reflect on how vampire mythology can serve as a mirror to our lives, promoting a deeper understanding of our views on morality, mortality, and what it means to be truly alive. The primary text I decided to use in my paper is Why Vampires Never Die, written by El Toro, Guillermo, and Hogan Chuck. Hogan Chuck is a well-known novelist and author. Meanwhile, on the other hand, El Toro is an award-winning filmmaker. Both of these creators specialize in horror and thriller genres, and together they created the Strange Vampire Trilogy series. In their essay, they explain how the legend of vampires continue to adapt and represent our deepest, darkest fears. Vampires are creatures of folklore and fiction. They are often portrayed as immortal beings who sustain themselves by feeding on the blood of the living. The concept of vampires has been around for centuries and can be found in various cultures and mythologies. In more recent time, the well-known Twilight series by Stephanie Meyer reimagines vampires as being capable of love and complex emotional relationships, aligning with contemporary values of romance and personal fulfillment. There's also the HBO series True Blood, which depicts vampires as a marginalized community, making connections between them and actual problems with prejudice and the struggle for rights. An emotion as old as humanity itself, the fear of death continues to have a significant influence on how people behave and form cultural ideas. Most of our decisions and life choices are influenced by this initial fear, often referred to as thanatophobia. The topic touches every aspect of human life, whether it's from the way we form relationships, the values we hold, to the choices we make. By understanding the fear of death, it allows us to comprehend the complexities of human nature and the lengths we go in order to cope with the inevitability of our mortality. My first minor claim is across different cultures, there's this common thread where people chase to stay young forever. The pursuit of eternal youth in various cultures represents a denial and the inescapable concept of death, which illustrates the layer of eternal youth as a concept intertwined with boundless opportunity. I was able to identify a quote stated by Del Toro and Hogan, which says, if youth is desire married with unending possibility, then vampire lust creates within us a delicious void, one we long to fulfill, which represents the human desire to fill the emptiness that comes with recognizing our mortality. My second minor claim is the desire for immortality and the fear of death can be seen in the quest for scientific advancement and technology aimed at extending life and health spans. The fear of death plays a big factor on those who preferred palliative care. It reveals the relationship between the fear of death and attitudes towards end of life care. It also reflects a broader psychological pattern wherein the desire to escape mortality influences personal healthcare decisions. My third minor claim is the fascination with mythical creatures such as phoenixes or gods who possess eternal life in folklore can be seen as an expression of our collective yearning for immortality. The Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest known literary works, Gilgamesh is a king who is part divine, set out on a challenging search to discover eternal life, reflecting our inherent longing for immortality. Through Gilgamesh's journey, driven by his fear of death, it illustrates the hero's extraordinary efforts to conquer death, highlighting a profound human desire for immortality. My fourth minor claim is the fear of death often arises from facing the unknown and the dread of losing consciousness. Thanatophobia, derived from the Greek thanatos, which means death, and phobia, which stands for fear, characterized by a profound fear of death. This psychological phenomenon encapsulates the anxiety and dread that comes with the thought of death, influencing not only individual behaviors, but also the stories and myths we create to cope with this ultimate uncertainty. By constantly managing these conflicts, individuals attempt to find ways to navigate and make sense of their mortality. Some might argue that not everyone shares this fear of death or desire for immortality. They argue that many are at peace with the concept of death, viewing it as a natural part of life. It's evident that even in simulated environments where death is not real, we still treat it negatively. This supports the perspective of many people who are okay with the idea of death, viewing it as just another piece of life. Although I do agree there is a positive way to view death, my research reflects the discomfort with death in simulated environments, which reflects our unease with mortality. In conclusion, the mythology around vampires represents our greatest hopes and anxieties. Not only is it a terrifying story, but it also reflects our inner desire to conquer death. Our understanding of these myths will change along with society, but they will always represent our battle with life's limitations and our eternal search for life after death. And here's my works cited. And yeah, thanks for watching.